Aloha, everyone, and welcome to session number 4 for the Hawai'i Rotary Public Image Learning Series. Today's topic is Leveraging Clubrunner. Make sure everyone see my screen. Today is March 20th. We have some great people on here, but we're going to do some introductions. We're going to talk about some updates. We're going to take a quick survey where you're going to pull out your cell phones, similar to what we did last week. But let's get started. So welcome everyone to Leveraging Clubrunner. My name is Joshua Laguana. I'm from the Rotary Club of Hickam Pearl Harbor. And this year I get to serve as co-chair with Scott Wishart from Ala Moana. And I'm on the Public Image Resource Team. On the screen are all of our Public Image Resource Team mates and their Instagram accounts. We also have District Governor, let's see which District Governor. We have District Governor-elect, Mr. Mark Merriam here. Who else do we have? We have District Governor, past District Governor Roz Cooper here. And we have our public image co-chair, Scott Wishart, who's just signing in right now. So we have him as well. But thank you, everyone, for being here today. We're going to talk about some updates. So just that, so that you know, we do have the first 3 sessions of the Public Image Learning Series on Rotary's, Hawai'i Rotary's YouTube channel. So it is found there. I also sent it in the email today. So if you missed session 1, 2, or 3, feel free to check out YouTube or that email that I sent out. It's now time for a survey. So everyone get out your cell phones, or if you're using your cell phones, don't worry about it. But you're going to text these answers to area code 804-476-8279. And if you like the telephone game, it's actually 804-4-ROTARY. ROTARY. If you don't have a cell phone and you can text right now, or if you want to just send your email, you can send it to publicimage@rotaryd5000.org. This first question is going to be a doozy, but let's see how you guys do. What is your name? Text me your name so I know who it's coming from. The next question is, what is your club's name? It's getting a little harder. I understand that, but I have faith that you guys will get this. Okay, I see that the text message is coming through. The next one is, what is your club's website address, URL? If you don't know it, it's okay. Like I said, it is getting a little harder. The next question, I'm just gonna give a little, maybe like 5 more seconds on that one. I like this. A lot of you guys do know your club name and your name, so great. Now, do you know your website name? Next question is, does your club use Clubrunner? And if you've never heard of Clubrunner in your life, you are in the right place, because we're going to talk about that today. The next question is, who is your club's website webmaster? If you don't know what a webmaster is, I'll tell you. It's the person who puts the images on the web, on the page, who puts the content on there. The person you go to is like, hey, you spelled my name wrong on the website. And then the last question we have here is, do you think your club's website is brand compliant? Last week, we talked about Rotary's brand compliance and our goal of being brand compliant in each of the clubs by June 30th. Now, do you think specifically, is your club's website brand compliant? So let's go ahead and get started with our agenda. So thank you very much for everyone for being here. 4 weeks ago is when we started this, and we started with Public Image 101. And in that session, we talked about taking inventory specifically about your logos, your color palettes, your photos, your websites. The following week, we talked about capturing the people of action. So in week 2, we're talking about taking photos, developing your call to action, and developing even your own club's people of action campaign. Last week, we talked about brand compliance. Again, that's not taking inventory, but actually looking at that inventory and ensuring it aligns with Rotary International wants. For 2022-2023, RI President Jennifer Jones sent an email to all of the clubs, all of the districts, requesting that all of their clubs look at these things to ensure that it aligns with Rotary International and is brand compliant. And that is why we are here today. So thank you, everyone. But today we are talking about leveraging Clubrunner. So what we're going to start with is an overview of what Clubrunner is. I'm not going to go into the details. I'm not going to be going into the weeds and how do you do this, how do you do that. I'm just going to give you guys some basic information. But the basic information is going to be about the homepage, events, stories, and the photo albums. I'm not going to be talking about the club management or the billing or the membership list. If that is something that you're interested in learning about, let me know through the text message or public image email, and we can set up a training for that. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you have not seen what is on the screen right now, this is the member side of your Clubrunner website. So you have your homepage, and then you have the member access side. And so this is what you'll see. And the first part is this top line, which is going to be your menu. So when I'm saying, hey, go to the admin menu or the communication menu, that's this top line up here. If I'm asking you to go to the sub menu, after you select a menu, then the second line comes through, and I'm going to be talking about sub menus. So just got to get that clear. And when I talk about website and events, those are the two other sections that we're going to be talking about today. And that's where we're going to find the photo albums and the stories as well. Are you guys ready to get started? Great. Okay. So let's first off start with the basics. What is Clubrunner? Clubrunner is a club management platform. I believe there's about 45 clubs in Hawai'i Rotary that uses Clubrunner. And they're either using it to manage their members because you can put your members in there and it integrate with Rotary International's database. That's one option with Clubrunner. The other option, which a lot of people use, is their websites management, their content management, for stories, for events, and that's what we're going to focus on today. But today it's also really important that we understand the different roles that are in Clubrunner. So Clubrunner has 4 primary roles: site administrator, executives, editors, members. Now, all of these can also be known as a couple different things as well. It might be site administrator, club president, club executive, editor, member, but there's also restricted member and no access. And I have numbers there. And that's important because when we're talking about editing your website through Clubrunner, you have to be in the 30 to the 60 level. If you're a 70, if you're an 80, or if you're 90, you can't change your website. If you don't know what access level you are, what you can do is go into Clubrunner, click on that member area, and bring up your profile. Or if you already are a site administrator and you want to check on someone else, what you can do is go to membership and then go to your members list and click on a person's name. At that point, you want to switch over to the settings tab and look at the club access level. That will tell you what level you have or another person has. So when you guys text me, who your web administrator is, they should at least be a 60, a 50, a 40, or a 30. Now, let's go into a little more information. When it comes to website and website content, we're going to go to the menu website and then the sub-menu website content. If you have two screens, you can follow along, but please note that I'm going to talk about it first, and then I'm going to share the screen, and then we're going to go into Clubrunner, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So first, I'm also going to tell you that there's going to be links at the bottom of the page. You don't have to know it, but when I print out these into a PDF and put it on our website, these are the Clubrunner support quick guides or how-to guides. So you don't have to worry about that. But here is what it looks like with going to website and then website content. On this screen, you are going to find built-in pages, site pages, custom pages, and a home page. Built-in pages is things that Clubrunner has created and makes accessible to every single Clubrunner account that uses web content. That's going to be like your home page. It's going to be an events calendar. It's going to be your stories page. It's going to be a contact page. Then you have something called site pages. Site pages is when I, as an individual, have a committee and I want to have a whole page so that I can share content. So at the district level, each district committee has a site page: youth service, community service, public image. Those are site pages. Then there are custom pages. Custom pages is exactly what it says. They're pages that you custom create, and it can be anything. It could just be a picture. It could be a bunch of content. It could be a bunch of links. Those are custom pages. But today, we're going to focus on the home page. But what else is on there is stories, files, photo album. And you'll see all those if you go to website, website content, and then on the left-hand side right here. So let's go into that now. So we first want to go into our member area. And of course, if you're not automatically logged in, you're going to have to put your username and password. It's going to take you to this side and you're going to see what access you have. So right now I am a site administrator. I want to go to website, which is right here. And then I want to go to website content, which is right there. It's going to take a moment because Clubrunner is a bit slow. But if we look under website content, here's my built-in pages. Wait for it. And then I have my custom pages. These are things that I created. And so as you can see, I have one for anniversary celebration. I created a custom page for areas of focus, avenues of service. Let's go into site pages. Site pages, I have one for after action reports. I have one for the committees, and I have one for finance. And what this does, it tells me who created that page. So I can create a page for Alan, and he doesn't have to be a site administrator, editor, or anything. As long as I assign him as the owner, he can go ahead and make those changes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the comments, and then we'll address them during the question section. So let's go ahead and go into what we're here to talk about, website design. So we're going to talk about the logo. We're going to talk about navigation, the layout, and themes. And specifically, we're going to be doing this for the home screen, and we're going to be working with what's called content widgets. In order to get started, each of you can go to your website, and if you see this cute little pencil, it's in the bottom right-hand corner, that means you are an editor. You are a site administrator, a club executive, or an editor. That means you can change your website. Once you click on it, it will take you to this screen right here. It's called the design home page. let's bring this back. So I'm going to start from the beginning of my home screen. My home screen is called rotaryhph.org. That is our home screen. I have a little pencil in the bottom right-hand corner, and I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Once I click on it, it takes me to the design page. Now that it's up, what I want you to see is that this website is responsive. When I say responsive, it could be done on a computer. It could look on a tablet, and it'll show me what it looks like on a tablet. And then I can see what it looks like on a mobile cell phone. So it just changes the look. For me, I like to work on use the desktop because that's what most people will look at. But let me just tell you, as younger generations are looking into Rotary, they're gonna want to look on their phone. So you want to make sure that your website is responsive and looks nice on a cell phone. So let's edit. Now, this is a live designer. What that means is as you move things around, it's going to change it. So there's no like, are you sure you want to change it? Once you drop it there, it's there. On the right-hand side, and you can move these things around very easily so you can see more, are what's called widgets. That's your content. Then we have themes, and then we have layouts. We're going to start with the layouts. The layout is how will this page specifically look? You can have like this one. First one is full width top band above a right sidebar. So you're going to have a full width and a right-hand sidebar. Then you have a full width top band above left sidebar. So it's just the opposite. And continue on. But what I selected is the full width top band above 3 columns, and it says active. The next thing I'm going to do is click on themes. The themes is what Clubrunner puts out there, and they ensure each of these themes are brand compliant. So you don't have to think about the color palette. You don't have to think about the typography. So just select one that you think would best fit your club. And then the last one, which we're going to spend a little more time in, is the content. And the content are where you're going to drag and drop things. So let's start with this pre-formatted widget, which is an article with an image on the left side. So I just take this and I drop it. So now it puts the stuff that it's like a little template. I can click on here to edit it, and I can select an image from my photo library. We're going to wait a little bit because it takes some time. Let's pretend that I was able to select an image. But then on the right-hand side, I see add text here. So I can go here and edit and put whatever I want. And then below that is a little button that has some type of action. So I can change it. Instead of saying click me, I want it to say continue or register. And then I could have a custom URL, or if you look in here, you're going to see some things that I mentioned before, a built-in page, a custom page, a site page. There's some other things in here as well you can select. And what that means is when someone clicks on that button, where will they go? If I put this widget here and I don't want to use it, what I'm going to do is just click the X and it's gone. So that is what the live editor does. It shows you what your content will look like after you put things in there. It will not go to your live website until you press publish up here. So if we go back to my home screen, what we're looking at here is not the exact same stuff, but you see how it has a banner full width and it says drop here. There's nothing there. Because there's nothing there, it's not going to show up on my website. You'll also see this right here where it says edit logo and edit navigation. These things are throughout your website, so it's not just on your home screen. I do recommend you watching last week's session about brand compliance and ensuring that you have the right logo. If you don't, go ahead and update it by clicking Edit Logo and following the prompts on the screen. For your edit navigation, that is where you're going to go to see what's up here and what menus are in those drop-down lists. You can select those and just follow the screens. We're not going to go into details on that. But on your home screen, what I would like for you guys to kind of just look at is what information do you want to put on there? My club, we put a little about us. We have different images that takes us to different sections of our website, and these are all custom pages. And then we have our upcoming events. We have our latest stories, and then we have an embedded video in here along with some additional links. I look at your home screen, and if you have a lot going on and if you're sharing a lot of stories and you have events happening, your website should always be up to date. If you have just a landing page that kind of gives them contact information and how to get a hold of you and what your club has done in the past, that's fine as well. But make sure that it is still easy to follow along and is useful. Any questions about the home screen? I'm going to pause it for a moment. Okay, wow. There are a lot of questions in the chat. Okay, is there a Clubrunner app? The answer is yes. My website content is grayed out. If your website content is grayed out, you may not be able to edit it. And that may be because, let's show my screen again. If it's grayed out like this, you have to press the little pencil icon in order to be able to edit it. Or if you go to one, click on this little icon and it will allow you to edit the widget. Continuing with the question. If you have access denied, that means you are not an editor of that page. You might need to have a little more access. So double check your access. And Lee, I don't get access. We can talk about that at the end. All right, we're going to continue moving on. Continue to put your questions in the chat. So we talked about website design and how to change your homepage using the widgets, your themes, and your layouts. Next, I really want to spend some time on our events and event planner, where you can create events, whether it be for your meeting, whether it be for your service project, a fundraiser, or just, hey, you have a due date and you want people to know and it be on your calendar. With events, you also have the option to have people register. So when you're doing a service project, you want to know how many people are there. Clubrunner has an option to have people register. A lot of you here used that registration option today to join today's session. It also allows you to put your events on the calendars. And it's also important to note that there's two types of calendars. You have your club calendar, and then you have the district calendar. So all of the things that I do at Rotary Club of Hickam Pearl Harbor, I want to share it with the district and I want it to be put onto those the calendar so other people can see it. That's great because it gives me more publicity for that event. And also, you have an option for volunteer sign-up lists. So this person is bringing rice, this person is bringing spam, this person is bringing noti, this person's bringing eggs. We're going to have a spam party. Now we have everything ready for it, and that can be used. That would be helpful with the volunteer sign-up list. Also, if you do subscribe to Clubrunner's payment options, you can put that in there and it will allow you to accept online payments. But also, maybe you want them to submit a check and you can put the instructions there, or you want them to go to this specific link to payment through Venmo. When you're creating the event planner and you have payment options in there, it just allows you to add instructions for your guest. And then the last thing is emails. There's two types of things that can get sent out through the events. One is an invitation like everyone got today, and it has a link to register. And then the other one is just to send an email. So you can send it by people that have registered RSVP that's to coming, and one that has declined. So let's go ahead and get into that. First things first, we're going to go into the member area. And then the menu is going to be events. And the submenu is going to be event planner. This is not to be mistaken for My Event Runner. My Event Runner is an add-on to Clubrunner that may cost or may be at an additional cost. Event Planner is free. So to get started, what you want to do is click on Create New Event. Here you want to fill out this form, event name, event code. Event code, I don't really understand what it's there for, but it's there. You don't have to put anything in there if you don't want to. And then you want to make sure that you select the correct status. Status means that it will show up on your calendar. Draft means it will just be saved for later. Then you have your event type. These event types can be customized for your club. And what is important is to know is that these at the bottom of your events calendar will have a legend, and it'll tell you like your board meetings in red and your club events in green. So select the correct event type. And then this is very, very important. You need to have a start time, date and time, and an end date and time. Why that's important is because when you create this event, it also creates a calendar reminder so that if someone registers for your event, they can have that calendar and it will put the start and end time inside your calendar. If it doesn't have an end time, it will cause an error. So make sure you do a start and end time. And then you have your description. That's going to kind of be like what everyone sees on the event or within your calendar invite. And then this is where you go ahead and select if you want to enable registration now. If you don't want to enable registration now, that's fine. You can do it at a later time, or you can turn it on now and turn it off later. Then you want to just make sure you upload an image. Again, use the People of Action campaign and use photos that are going to be relevant to this event. Then you're going to identify who the event chair is, and it will pre-populate with what's in Clubrunner for their email address and their phone number. If you don't want someone's phone number or email address publicized, change it to something else, and you can go ahead and do that. Like, I don't want everyone knowing my cell phone number. And then you're going to want to select the location, and that's important because that puts it on a map. Or if you don't have the address and you do have the latitude and longitude, which not many people usually know what that is, you can go ahead and put that in there as well. And then we're going to look at the sections below. Show event and homepage. So if you have events on your homepage, do you want to show it there? If you have events on your calendar, do you want to show it there? You have an events list, show it there. Bulletin. And then I don't know why it skips, but then it says, do you want to display the social media share bar? Share event, show event and district calendar, and show map. For me, I think all of them should be yes, unless it's like something specific to the club, like a board meeting, then I won't show it in the district calendar. Otherwise, everything is going to be a yes. I'm going to cancel that for now. And what I want to do is open up one here. So this is what it would look like after an event has been saved. I'll have my image, I'll have my description. My registration is not enabled, but I can go in and change that. So if I want people to register, I can just go ahead and turn that on now. And it's very important that you select when registration can begin and when it will end. Do note that this time is based off of, like, if you say end date or end registration, the day that it's done, Some people register late, so you want to like kind of push it forward a bit. And then you can decide if you want to allow public registration. If you don't allow public registration, that means someone's going to have to log into your website and they have to have an account. And then copy event chair on new registration emails is, so whenever someone registers, you'll get an email, or whoever is the event chair will get an email. I want to caution you on that because that could be a lot of emails. If you're sending it out to the entire district of 1,400 people, every time someone says no, that person would get an email saying no. But also, I want to caution you that there are limitations to how many emails Clubrunner can send out a month. There are certain quotas or limits, so just double check what your plan is. The next thing is enabling a custom email message. That is important if there is like any follow-up that you want. So after someone registers, you could say, thank you very much for registering. If you have any questions, contact Josh, and put their contact information. If so, you'll just put your custom message here. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. And the next thing I want to show you is the sign up list. It's very, very simple. You just go ahead and click on create sign up list, and then you can identify what kind of things that you want people to bring. And just follow the screen online and then create sign up list. And then below is going to be the change payment settings. So if I say the event, there's an event fee, you could put in the cost and how payment is, what the payment method is. And the last thing I'm going to show you are the emails. So you have the new invitation, which is really one of my favorite things, is because it makes it easy to share your event. I can send it to all of my members, and I have a template right here. If that's too small, what I want to do is make it a little larger and press this little icon to expand and use the entire screen. You're going to look over here and you're going to see, hey, what is nickname? What is last name? What is event name? Why are these dollar signs? I'm not paying any money for that. That are just like special code in there so that it brings in information that's already stored in Clubrunner, such as someone's nickname or someone's last name or whatever this event is called. And you could just leave this as is because it's kind of set up to go ahead and send out. And if you want to check what it looks like, just go ahead and say send to myself and it'll send you a copy of that email. I always recommend double checking your work, sending it to yourself, making sure that the layout looks good, that the links work. And then when you're ready, go ahead and send it out. If this is something that you know, hey, I don't want to send out too early, which could be bad because some people might forget about it, go ahead and schedule it. And that will say, okay, on this specific day, I want you to send out the email at this time. And that is the event planner. Now, the idea behind this is really to encourage people to register so that when you're setting up an event, you know who's going to be there. Also, you don't have to worry about, okay, did this person sign up? Did this person sign up? Did this person sign up? Just go to the website, click on register, and then that's it. And then when you need to tell everyone, hey, things have changed, you have the communication, the emails that you can just send out an email to everyone and not have to do it multiple times. Any questions about the events? I see nothing in the chat, so it must be very, very clear and easy, or I did a really, really good job, or you guys had toned out. Okay, let's continue on. Easy. If Lori Williams says it's easy, then we know it's easy. Thanks, Lori. All right. So we talked about the event planner. The next thing I wanted to touch on is menu, website, and then manage stories. This is where you're going to go and to look at your story library. There's different types of story libraries, but story library in general. I'm going to show you guys how to create a new story. What is a story brief and what is the story content and then what is it? How is it different? and also with best practices, including links and embedding media in there. You want to make sure that your story is not just a plain screen with words on it. You want to make it attractive and meaningful so that someone reads it and then gets something out of it. So first things first, we're going to go into our story library. So let's go scroll up to the top, and we're going to go to website and then website content. Here, you're going to scroll to the left-hand side, and we're going to look for stories. Once we get to our stories, you're going to see your story library, and that's going to be all of your stories. These are things that we have written, and you would just go ahead and create a new story. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into and edit one that I've already did. So someone mentioned the Hawaii Food Bank. Yes, that was on the news last week, this past Saturday. So I created a title, and I want the title to be grabbing. And so I say Rotary, HPH, and Hawaii Food Bank join forces to fight hunger. Then it gives me a permalink, which is just part of your URL. You can change it to make it more simple if you want, but what it does is it just takes the title and puts a dash in between each space. You write your author, you write your date, and then always, always, always put your social media. And I'll tell you guys why once we get done with this section. Then you want to go and fill out your story brief. Your story brief is going to be what's shown as a little summary on your home screen. And then it's going to have a link to say, click more or read more. When you do that, then it's going to take you to the story content where you can go ahead and put all of your, the real story behind it. And it's always going to be very important that you use links. Your call to actions has to be clear. In this one, I want them to people to visit the Facebook photo album so that they can see all the photos from that day. And then below, I love the idea of enabling comments, but I haven't seen many people actually put comments down. I'd love, with us getting this word out about using Clubrunner, that each of us go to other people's clubs, look at their stories, and write comments about that. But also, highly suggest you putting tags in there, especially if you work with like organizations or specific avenues of service that your club does and writes a lot of stories about that. Write your tags in there. So if I looked up Ultras, I already have a tag in there. So when I look up Ultras tag in my website, I'm going to see all the stories that Ultras has mentioned. Now, we can always go and preview what that looks like. So just clicking on that. And I'm going to share with you what that looks like. So this is kind of what it would look like on as a story, but let's see what it looks like on my home screen. So I'm going to go back to rotaryhph.org. And if we scroll down here, this is where you see Rotary, HPH, and Hawaii Food Bank join forces to fight hunger. As you can see, there is no image here, and it kind of looks pretty bland. So I should probably add an image so it looks like that, but let's go ahead and click on it. And this is a widget that kind of rotates my stories. There's other things in here. So here is an embedded video. And then there's a story behind it, and there's links on it. And this is my story. Why I always say display your social media things is because if you just click on Facebook, I can immediately share it to my Facebook page. So check out this story. And I'm going to add it to my story, not to my feed. And post to Facebook, and I'm done. So I created a story in Clubrunner, and I shared it directly to Facebook. It's that simple. Any questions about stories? Let's check out the chat. Does the message that is generated by Event Planner given add to calendar options? The answer is yes. And thank you, Nestor, for saying it's clear as mud. All right, we have about 5 minutes left, so let's finish this up. So we just went over stories. Briefly going to talk about the image library. The image library is all of your images on your website. It has to be in there in order for a picture to show. But it can be in photo albums. It could be under your story content. It could be under links or embedded media. Let's show you what that looks like. We'll go to website and then image library. Once you click on that, you have all of these options for image library or photo album library. Your photo album library is when you create an album and you put a bunch of photos in there, and then you have an actual menu called photo albums. The other option is when you click on the image library, it'll show you the different folders that you have, and inside each folder, what images are there. At that point, you can use these individual images into different sections of your website, whether it be on a widget or in a story. But you may notice that some of it says locked, and that's because you can't change that folder from this section. So photo albums, you have to go to your photo albums library. Rotary International also gives Clubrunner their images. So whether it be the Rotary International Mark of Excellence or the master brand signature, or even the year's presidential themes. If you look into the Rotary images folder, you'll see all of the themes and logos there. Clubrunner also has some standard images along with under admin and my images. If you go in and just add an image because you copied and pasted something into an email or onto your homepage, it will most likely go to the folder called My Images. Now, I do want to caution you that you do not want to delete an image from your image library or your photo albums. If you, because once you do, it will no longer be available on your website. So just make sure that if you delete something, it's not being posted somewhere else on your website. All right. Last week, we talked about your digital assets. This week, we're talking about the platform that you can use to use these digital assets. So with Clubrunner, you don't have to worry about the color palette or your typography, but what you should be worrying about or looking at are those logos that you're using for your club. You're looking at those different photos and videos that you're having on your club, ensuring that it fits along with the people of action and follows along with Rotary International's brand. Some resources and wrapping up. So some resources that you guys have access to is going to clubrunnersupport.com. All of the content or information that I got from today is from their Clubrunner support. They also have an incredible customer support. So if you have any questions, there's a contact page. You can fill it out and they respond to you within 1 to 2 business days, most likely 1. But do know that they're in Canada. So if you do it late in the evening, you probably won't get something back until the next morning. Next thing is to go to the Rotary Brand Center, really for your logos, any public people of action photos, and ideas on what a website or content you can use for your website. The next thing is, of course, the District Public Image Resource Team. Use me, abuse me, use Scott. He likes to be abused, so do that. Before we wrap it, before we come to an end, I want to go back to a survey time. So please bring out your phones or send out your email, and you're going to be texting 804-4-ROTARY or 476-8279, or you can go ahead and send us an email with your responses to publicimage@rotaryd5000.org. First question is one and only question is, what public image topics would you like to learn more about? Is there something in today that you'd like to expand on, or is there something new that we haven't talked about yet and you'd like to learn more? So please send your text messages with that topic. Now let's go ahead and I want to open it up. Is there anyone on here, and I have time for one. Does anybody want to go through their website and kind of do an audit of it? Anyone? Okay, don't be shy, but it's okay. We don't have to. Anyone?
It's Arlene, yes.
Hi, Arlene. Okay, what website do you want to go through?
KapoleiRotary.com.
All right, let's look at KapoleiRotary.com. We're going to pull up the screen one more time. Here we go. KapoleiRotary.com. So first thing off, it's very great that the website is Kapolei Rotary. One, we know it's in Kapolei, and two, we know it's a Rotary Club. Second thing, we look at the logo. We come to the banner at the top, and you have the Rotary Mark of Excellence, and then you have Rotary Club of Kapolei, and then onto the right you have Imagine Rotary. One of the things that I would notice here is that I would probably use the master brand signature of Rotary Club of Kapolei. That means with the Mark of Excellence on the right-hand side, the word Rotary, and then either above or below, put Club of Kapolei. The second thing that I would do in here is that you have your logos on a gray background when you also have that on a white background. So you either want to keep it consistent. The gray just kind of looks off because then this thing in the middle has blue on white. But let's look at the website as a whole. So we have your menus, you have your home, you have your announcements, your calendar, community service. Perfect. But let's look inside there. So if we click on announcements, you want to look at this, and it looks a little jumbled. So there may be something wrong with this page. So I would double check announcements. Second thing is, let's look at the calendar. You have your events on here, so we know that you're using your events. Let's go ahead and click one of these events. And it's important when you're creating an event, make sure you put a little more details about it. So what is happening in there? And everyone, there is that add to calendar. So if you click on that from your computer or from your phone, it will add this event to your calendar. And it has a start and end time, so great job there. And also, if you wanted to share this to Facebook, go ahead and click on the Facebook icon here. Let's look at the community service. Community service, great. I love the images. It's keeping down. Love the, oh, absolutely beautiful. This page looks amazing.
Jada just started working on it last week, so.
Wow, Jada, this is amazing. My only concern is that you have two banners here. So just for consistency, I would make this a little smaller. But it's beautiful, great job. And then let's check out the contact us. Amazing, you have that contact us screen right here that allows visitors to immediately contact you and contact information. Someone did have a question. Hey, do you have a Clubrunner mobile app? The answer is yes. So definitely double check that out. So great job. I would move things around on the home screen. Just keep in mind, who is your audience? Is this for your members, or is this for non-Rotarians? Is this for visiting Rotarians? Keep your audience in mind when you're creating your home page, and then make navigation simple. Okay. Thank you, Arlene, for bringing that up. And yes, Mark is right. He's putting stuff in the chat. We do have a Clubrunner. I don't work for Clubrunner. What are we talking about? Clubrunner has a ton of training that is available. They do have an upcoming training called the Changeover that kind of tells what happens between Rotary years. I highly encourage everyone to register for that. Clubrunner does have online help articles, they have videos, but Clubrunner also does offer training for your club or presentations for your club, but please note that they do charge for some of their services. So just check that out, ask if there is a cost before you get involved with anything. All right, wrapping things up, does anyone have any questions? Going once, going twice. Okay, this is my favorite part now. This is like, I really want, anybody want to promote what's going on at their club? Anybody want to talk about anything that's happening? Come on, people. Don't make me start. You know, I love doing it. Anyone? Anyone? Okay, I'll go first. Oh, Arlene, do you want to go?
Sure. I don't remember if I did it last week, but I'll do it again. So our Interact and Early Act Club of Kapolei High School and Makakilo Elementary will be putting together Genki balls on April 8th. If you want to support, they're $5 a ball. You could contact me. I can put my email in the chat, and I could send you a QR code to donate. And then on April 22nd, they'll be throwing it into the Hawaii as a group. So mahalo.
Awesome. Anybody else? How about Kara? I see you. Go ahead, Kara.
Actually, the Interact Club, thanks, Arlene, for bringing it up. I wasn't going to share. I did it last week. But it's a $5 donation to help us raise money and to make the Genki balls. So the cutoff date is March 22nd for our kids to turn in the money. But if you adults would love to help us help the kids for next year's projects, you can go to the webpage and the one that Arlene showed, and then there should be a QR code if you'd like to make a donation.
Thank you, Kara. Okay, remember, make your call to actions clear and be like, hey, go to this website. But great job. Anyone else? Okay, I will go. This is a great youth service opportunity. Do you know a member of an Interact club or interested in Interact, or know someone that's interested in Interact or Rotaract? The Young Leaders Celebration is celebrating their second annual event. It is going to be on Saturday, April 16th at Mililani Mauka Elementary School. And we are asking Rotary clubs to sponsor participants at $10 per participant. If you are interested, visit the Rotary D5000 events calendar and look up the Young Leaders Celebration. Anyone else? Okay. Well, let's wrap things up. So everyone, thank you for joining me for the Leveraging Clubrunner. I hope you guys got something out of it. We are going to continue next week with Social Media 101, and we're just going to talk about the basics of social media. Why is it? Who uses it? What can we do? The following week, we're going to go into the 200 series of Social Media 201 and talk about Facebook and My Club, creating Facebook pages, Facebook groups, events, what to do. The following week, we're going to go Social Media 202 and talk about Instagram and My Club. And then April 17th, we're going to be going into using Canva to create brand positive public image assets. Canva is a free resource, so everyone can be able to use this. And then it's going to be April 24th. So I'm sorry, this is in a couple weeks, 5 weeks. We're going to talk about the effectiveness of media release. And I will share some of the things that I did this past weekend to get onto the news with KITV and KHON. So join me then. And don't forget, I am looking for people to join the Hawai'i Rotary People of Action campaign. We're looking for videos, we're looking for photos of people of action. If you don't know what that really looks like, visit Hawai'i Rotary on YouTube and look up the People of Action session. Also, we are also looking for events and projects to attend from the public image resource team. So we want to come out and visit your clubs. If you invite me, I will do everything I can to get your events onto the news. And then, of course, by June 30th, we want every club to be brand compliant. And if you guys have any questions on whether your club is compliant or not, check out last week's session called Brand Compliance. And then, of course, if you have any brilliant ideas that you want to share with the community or you want to see done in Rotary or Hawai'i Rotary, go to sharemyidea.org and we'll make sure that idea gets put out there. And of course, everyone, thank you very much for joining me today for the Public Image Learning Series, and we'll see you all next week. So thank you very much.
Aloha.
Aloha.